Welcome back to a course on multivariable calculus. We are talking about double integrals. Continuation to the discussion. Now we are going to talk about the applications of double integral in finding the surface area. So surface area is something that we find for a three-dimensional object. For a three-dimensional object, the outer surface is covering some area. If you want to paint a sphere, if you want to paint a cylinder, then you will have to calculate the amount of the paint that you need to paint the particular solid, for which you will have to find the outer surface, the area of the outer surface, so that you can do the calculation. So this is a simple kind of an instances where surface area is applied. Mathematically speaking, what do we mean by surface area? Let us get into it. So suppose you have a surface which is given by the equation z is equal to f of xy, okay, and this function has a continuous partial derivatives. Continuous partial derivatives means since f is a function of xy, and that is you are given that f is equal z is equal to f of xy, and partial derivatives means del z upon del x and del z upon del y, they exist and they are continuous as well. So it is given. So for simplicity purpose, we take the surface only in the positive plane. That is, x value has to be positive, y value has to be positive, and z value has to be positive. Okay, we take such things, right? So sorry, actually we take only z to be positive, not x and y to be positive. X and y may be anything, but your z value has to be positive, and that is how we take things. So here the domain that we take is rectangle. For simplicity purpose, we take rectangle, and you hope you people know that rectangles, the idea of integrals over rectangles can be extended to any general domain. That those things we have seen already, and the same ideologies can be extended. That is why we are talking only for rectangles, right? Then what do? We subdivide this rectangle into a number of subrectangles, right? So number of subrectangles, and in each subrectangle we will talk about these things. So that is what we are about to do now. So in each subrectangle, let us choose some point which is closest to the origin, and that point we denote it by xi, yj. So with which we take something. This is a point with which we identify some point on a three-dimensional space, okay, that is on some surface. Now we will have to identify a tangent plane. If you are talking about a tangent in a two-dimensional thing, that is, if you have only x and y axis, that is, if you have your y to be some function of x, then when you try to plot this one, you are going to have something like this. When you talk about here, you will have a tangent line, okay, you are going to have a tangent line, whereas in three-dimensional thing we will have a tangent plane, and the tangent plane is what we talk about. So the tangent plane at this point is an approximation. So the area of the part of this tangent plane lies above origin. So what we do is that we take very small rectangles in the region, in the specified region R, and to each rectangle we are identifying some tangent plane, okay, the area of the tangent plane. So when your rectangle is very small, the area of the tangent plane is also going to be very small. So with the help of that area, with the help of the area of the parallelogram, we are going to calculate the surface area. That is how we do things, okay. Area of the surface is summation, double summation delta Tij. We'll have to take limit m and n approaches infinity. So this is what we are about to do, okay. Now for more convenient purpose, we are writing this equation 1 in the form that this parallelogram is lie along the sides of these vectors a and b. So this they are given bold faces, which means they are vectors, okay. So with the vector idea, area of a parallelogram is the absolute value of the cross product of those two vectors. That is what, okay. Here if you see your a vector, this is x quantity, so this is delta x, and this is, okay, this is your delta x I vector along x axis. So along x axis means we will have I vector, along y axis means we will have j vector, and along z axis means we will have k vector. Okay, so here you may very well see that this is delta x I vector, and then along the a is the thing that we are talking about, so it is delta x I vector, and then what, this quantity, the partial derivative with respect to delta x k vector. Okay, so we have these things. From this we can easily find out the cross product, that is the determinant of ijk vectors and the respective coordinates. And when you take the determinant of this one, you get that your this one, your a cross b, a vector cross b vector, to be this quantity minus fx means what, del f upon del x. So this is del f upon del y. So this quantity we have, and when you take the absolute of this value, this is square root of I coordinate, actually minus fx squared minus fx whole squared plus minus fy whole squared plus 1 squared. Okay, so multiply with, you have this one, this quantity. So here this delta a is a scalar, that is why it remains there as it is. Okay, now we put these things into the definition, and when you take mn approaches infinity, this is very small things, so you are going to convert your summation into a integral form. So this is the formula to calculate the a surface area. Whenever the function involving x and y is able to produce partial derivatives and the partial derivatives are continuous, right? So this may be further written as this in a simpler way. If you are given that z is equal to f of xy, just find del z upon del y, del x and del z upon del y, and put them in this formula, then you are done. Okay, and you know what is dA, that is dx dy. So whenever you are asked to find out the surface area, you will have to identify the region first of all. Okay, so this is some similarity result between the surface area formula. Okay, these things we have not covered, which means this is out of question to us, so we don't need to mind about it. Okay, now come to this. Find the surface area of a part of a surface z is equal to x square plus 2y that lies above the triangular region T in the xy plane with vertices, these things. So when you plot, these are the vertices, so with these vertices you will have to identify the region. Okay, here the region is named as T. You plot these things in a graph, you see that it is 0 0, it is 1 0, and it is 1 1. Okay, so your T is x varies from 0 to 1, and your y varies from this is y is equal to 0 line, y varies from 0 to x. So we have identified this region as a type 1 region. If you wish to identify this as a type 2 region, then what would you get? You might have get T to be the points xy such that y, first of all we will have to identify y. So from here to here, right? So can we identify this as y ranges from 0 to 1? Yeah, y ranges from 0 to 1, and your x will range from y to 1. Sorry. So this is how we'll have. Okay, but it is better that we'll go by type 1 itself. If you wish to do it by type 2, then you are of course welcome, and hope you can use the tools to see what the region is, what the solid is, that and all we can see. But I am not going to do that now. Here we are just asked to find out the surface area with mathematical ideas. Let us do it. So given function is x squared plus 2y. So we put everything into it. So from this, what you can do? Your del f upon del x is going to be simply 2x, and del f upon del y is what? 2. So we put them inside that. So 2x whole square plus 2 square plus 1 multiplied with dA. Your dA is what? Simply dy dx, because first y involves a variable quantity, so it is dy dx. We have this one. Here this is independent of y, so we will treat this as a constant and integrate with respect to y. So yeah, integrate with respect to y. So you are going to have integral 0 to 1 under root 4x square plus 5, then y over the limit 0 to x, and then dx you have. So when you substitute the limits, you are going to have integral 0 to 1 x multiplied with under root 4x square plus 5 dx. And this one, let us go by substitution method. Let me give you the idea. Take t to be 4x square plus 5. So your dt becomes 8x dx. Therefore your x dx is what? Dt upon 8. Okay, you don't need to change the limits. Just a minute, let me change my pen color and do the rest of the things here. So your integral 0 to 1, this integral limit is for x, right? So it is under root t multiplied with dt upon 8. So you can take 1 upon 8 outside, so it is going to be t to the power 3 upon 2. When you give 3 upon 2, you are going to get like this, and your x value ranges from 0 to 1. So it is 1 upon 8. If you wish, you can take these things also outside. So it is 2 and 8 gets cancelled, so it is going to be 4 multiplied. So 1 upon 12, it is 4x squared plus 5 over the limit x is equal to 0 to 1. So it is what, when you substitute 1, you are going to have 1 upon 2 to the power 3 upon 2 you have. So when you substitute x is equal to 1, it is 4 plus 5, 9. So 9 to the power 3 upon 2 minus 0 to the power 0 plus 5. So 5 to the power 3 upon 2. Okay, so 1 upon 12, 9 cube to the power 1 upon 2. We may write this way, or 9 to the power 1 upon 2 whole cube. We may write this way. So 9 to the power 3 upon 2 may be written in any of these ways if you go with the second one. So 9 to the power 1 upon 2 is square root of 9, which is 3, and when you cube 3, you are going to get 27. So it is going to be 27 minus, this is your 5 to the power 3 upon 2 may be written as 5 multiplied with 5 upon 5 to the power 1 upon 2. So it is 5 root 5. So that is the answer, right? So here, if you notice, this area of this surface is the thing that we have found. The next problem is to find the area of the part of the paraboloid that lies under the plane z is equal to 9. So when you plot this one, this goes like this, and z is equal to 9 is a plane which cuts this, so you are getting this shape. This is some circular region. We can convert this into polar coordinates. Okay, so from the given one, okay, how are we going to convert all these things? Let me tell you. From the given, you may find your del z upon del x is 2x, and your del z upon del y is 2y. Okay, so your surface over d is 1 plus 2x square plus 2y square dA. Okay, now we will have to identify what is this d. So we are converting this to a polar coordinate. So d is going to consist of r and theta, such that you may very well see that on z is equal to 9, your x square plus y square, your x square plus y square becomes 9. Therefore your r square, r value is 3. So your r value is increasing from 0 to 3. Okay, 0 less than or equals r, less than or equals 3. If you see, it is a complete circle. So your theta value is 0 less than or equals theta less than or equals 2 pi. So we integrate integral 0 to 2 pi, integral 0 to 3, 1 plus 4 times of, when you square these things, you are getting 4 times of x square plus y square. This becomes r squared, and your dA will be replaced by r dr d theta. If you notice, your interlimits are purely constants, right? Here r and theta are not combined in any of the terms. Hence, we may split these things up. That is, you may split the things with respect to theta one side and with respect to r one side and do the integration. Here also take your 1 plus 4r square to be some t. That is why you are going to have your 8r dr as dt. do the substitutions as we did in the previous problem and do the rest of the calculations, then we are done with this problem. Thank you.